Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So this time we are going to make one of these, which is a bookmark. So I needed to make some bookmarks for my journal because I'd realised I hadn't got any. I've just made a similar kind of bookmarky thing, but it goes on this corner. So if you haven't seen that, it was the previous video. So go and check that out. And so I want to complete this bookmark thing, so I'm going to half tick it and then we'll cross it out when we've made this one, because this is another bookmark. So instead of the ones that sit on the corner of the page, which were these style ones that just sit on the corner of the page, this is one that is a more traditional style of bookmark. So this one is clipped together with a faux rusty paper clip. I know it doesn't look perfectly rusty, but it's better than a rusty paper clip because it doesn't leave a rusty mark, and also I don't have any rusty paper clips left now. So all it is, it's a little thing that you open up and it's got some ticker tape in there. So it's a kind of a ticker tape file. Okay, you can decorate it and make it as pretty or however you like, but this is just my prototype. This is the one I've just sat and made, so that we've got something for the video. So we're going to make one of these, so I'm going to show you what I did. So what I did was I took a piece of card. Okay, so whatever you like, use the card that you have to hand that you want to make it from. And this time I think I will make it from an orange one, shall we? So I'm just going to use some more file folder. I've been using my file folder stuff up. I'm just going to open this up. We're just using it as cardboard, so that means I'm just going to have to cut the top off. Oh, hang on, where's my ruler? It's there. And we're just going to cut this off first of all, so we can cut it down and we can start. Well, actually, let's do that in the. Oh dear, we know that this isn't going to work, don't we? Or are you going to work today? Are you going to cut the bits off that I want, or are you just going to chew it? No. Why would you do that? This is why when I say you live and learn and I say you don't, it's because I don't learn this anytime. I always think, oh, it's going to work today. No, it won't. Let's get rid of those bits. Hold them out. See if we can do it that way then. So I'm just going to, like I say, this is not any size or anything like that. I'm just going to open it, get it so that it's at that point where we've just got the bare bones of cardboard. I'm not going to worry about that at the minute. Okay, so what did I do? Okay, so I decided how long do I want my bookmark to be. Okay, so this one we're going to make a bit shorter because we're not using a file folder. I actually did it this way round, but I might as well use the fold on. No, we're not going to listen to Dave. We're going to make it right from the beginning, otherwise you won't know what I did, and I need you to know what I did. So that's what I'm looking for. So what we're doing is we're getting the bare bones of cardboard. Okay. So this is our bare bones of cardboard. A little corner on there, get rid of that. Okay. So then what I did was I took it and any creasy marks that I'd got on it. So because I've been using file folders, it's got like it's already kind of scored line on there, and I just wanted to get rid of that so that wasn't in my way. That wasn't going to stop me from doing anything. I'm just going to cut that off. Okay, so now what I did was decided how big I wanted my bookmark. Okay, so I want a fairly substantial sized bookmark like this is, but I'm going to keep all of this paper, all of this card this way. So lengthways, I'm going to keep it all, and I'll show you why in a minute. But what we're going to do is we're going to put some score lines in. So now get your scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, just like a mouse mat with the tip of a pair of scissors will make a score line in it, as long as you don't press too hard. I'm just going to find my score tool. Okay, so I'll pop this on here. This is not straight, Dave, so let's make it straight. Or attempt, anyway, to make it straight. Don't want to cut too much of it off, but I just want to make it, I want to straighten that top edge. There we go. It's better, and it'll sit better on the thing. Yeah, the thing. So what I did was I scored at, because I wanted my ticker tape to be an inch wide, I scored it at 1.5 inches all the way down. Then I did 3, which is another 1.5, so it's 1.5, then 3, and then 4.5. And the 4.5 one is actually the one we're going to cut off. But if you score it in, it's just easier than trying to measure from a fold. Excuse me while I just find somewhere where that's going to stay without falling over. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. So best thing to do is flip it over so you're at the side with the mounting fold. Then take your ruler, and if you kind of hold it on the page and push it up to it, it will stop at the ridge, and there you go, you can cut that. Then you're cutting that off, that fold off. And that's what we need you to do, is cut it off. Not your finger, just the fold. Okay, so now we've cut that off, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it over. So just fold it over, and then we're going to fold them both in, okay, like that. Okay, so now we need to get our bone folder, and we're going to fold that in, bone fold it in as well, and we're going to see that makes sure that folds over without catching, and it doesn't at the minute, it catches a bit, so we just need to cut a bit of an edge off here. You don't want to cut it down too much, it will look a bit silly if it's too short, but you just want to cut a little bit off. So we're talking about, I don't know, whatever, a 1/16 of an inch, or you know, a couple of millimeters, or a millimeter. So there you go, so it just sits inside, so it sits inside that fold, and then when you fold that one over it, that folds over it without it catching. You can normally hear when it catches. And we're just going to fold that in. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we now open it up, and we're going to fold this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it up until we get a pocket the size that we think we might want inside. So because it was holding ticker tape, so if you look at this is holding ticker tape, I wanted it fairly deep so that the ticker tape would kind of sit in it without it, when you hold it up, I didn't want it to kind of just flop forward. Okay, so we'll just do that. So I'm going to fold it up, so this one's going to be a bit shorter, like I say, than the other one, but that's fine. And you kind of want to think about it proportionately. I wouldn't suggest that you go halfway up the page, but you know, it's just less than half. And then just pop that in there, and then just score that line in. Now what we need to do is we need to cut these 2 panels off. Okay, so that we're just simply going to cut them off for the time being. So what we want to do is, again, if you put your ruler on and push it up, and it will come up, but up to that fold line, and you're going to cut that fold line off, but only going to this fold line, the horizontal fold line, from the horizontal fold line down the vertical fold line. And then if you flip it round again, you can do the same thing and push it up against, and then you're going to cut that fold off. But remember, you're only going to come down to that horizontal line. Okay, then if you do it this way, and again, if you just rest it on those folds, you can see where the folds are, you rest it on that fold, and then you're just going to cut this one off, and you're going to cut this one off. But don't cut the middle one off, otherwise we're in, you know, dire straits. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to make sure that all folds round that thing. If it catches at all, then just shave another little bit off. But if you cut it the way I said, by butting it up against that fold, it should be perfect. Should be perfect. And now this is the time when you're going to get a bit creative, because you want to make it look a bit, well, hopefully you want to make it look a bit old, otherwise I don't know what you're watching me for, because this is what I do. This is my thing, is making it look old and shabby and like it's been around for a while. Don't worry, I will show you how I made the ticker tape. I mean, like, I don't know whether it's historically accurate ticker tape, because let's face it, I wasn't born then. So I'm also going to just go over this, inking all of my edges up, but also, don't mind a bit of creasing anyway, but also all of the surface, a little bit over the surface, just to make it look a bit older. Otherwise, I think this orange just looks a little bit too modern orange. Oh, Dave, just get a grip. Like, literally get a grip. Grip hold of it, Dave. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. And like, I keep going to rub my nose, and I keep thinking I've got an ink pad in my hand, an ink dauber in my hand, and it's likely to go horribly wrong. But hey, neighbours haven't complained as yet as to my. I think they think I've got a tan, a streaky tan, but a tan nevertheless. The amount of like marks that I put all over my face, and then I'm just going to do the inside. But remember, you don't need to do all the way up this bit, because you're not going to see that bit. So I really need to re-ink this pad, or get a new pad, because, or a re-inker, to be fair, might be, sorry, a re-inker or a dauber might be the thing that I need more than anything else. Because that's really looking old. I don't rate them. Sorry, really sorry, Tim, but I don't really rate these. I think they wear out too quickly. Because they're domed and they've got like a fabric over the top of them, I think the fabric that over the top of them wears out too quickly, and they end up falling apart, and all the bits of rubber, all the bits of foam come off on your project, which, you know, for me is not a huge loss, because I like that kind of aged, vintagey, grubby looking appearance anyway. So I'm just going to catch the edge of that. Make a feature of that's going to be the lip that of the pocket. So I'm just going to make that look a bit more dirty. You see all the bits coming off it. So yeah, don't rate them. So now what we need to do is you just need to fold that up, okay, and we are going to glue it. So all you want to do is you want to put a very fine, very fine bead of glue along this edge. So now he said a very fine bead of glue. This is testing my skills of putting a very fine bead of glue down here. What I'm trying to do is, just like when I cut something off, I try to hook it against the edge. So as I go, I'll try to use the edge as my guide, so I kind of hook my nozzle over, and that's why I tend to get a lot of glue on the desk rather than just on the project. So a little bit of something, there's always a little bit of something hanging around, so I'm just going to fold that over. So when I did fold it over, all I did was I just pushed it in a little bit, so that it kind of gaped a bit. Get your craft knife in there and just kind of just gape it a little bit, and that just means that it's just going to be easier for you to start feeding a very long snake-like piece of cardboard into there. You can kind of just open that mouth out a bit. There we go, that's better. So you've got like it'll kind of sit out. Can you see that one? Not if I do that though. It kind of sits open a little bit. Hopefully you can see what I mean there. Okay, and then all we need to do is start decorating. So one of the other things I did was I took the I took the corners off these, so 4 corners, because remember there's no pockets on these ones, so you're not cutting corners of pockets off, so that's good. But then I realised that when you fold that over, you have got a bit sticking out, but that's an interaction point for me. That makes the user realise, oh, there's something in this, and they want to look into it. So you could put a thumb divot in it, but it doesn't need one because it's not having a, you know, something going right into the pocket for you to be able to have to grab hold of. So I didn't, but like I say, you can. It's up to you. It's your thing. You do you. Okay. I had it so that this was my cover, and that's why this one is the shorter one, but you could do it the other way around, so this one was the one that folded in and this is the one that sits on the outside. But a bit traditional when it comes to things. Oh, there they go. I like it when it doesn't quite like stamp, but I don't like it when it doesn't stamp at all and you only get the top edge, but never mind. Just a bit like that. This is just the decoration stuff I'm doing. And the other thing I need to show you, sorry, just thought, before I get carried away with decoration, ticker tape. What did I do? I literally took some paper. Okay, now you can use coffee dyed paper, but you know, what I did was I doubled it. So I didn't use coffee dyed paper. I'll be very honest with you. What I did use was some till roll that I picked up when the last time I went to scrap. I just got a piece of till roll, took it, ripped it off, and then all I did was I used my glue stick along it, and I just folded it over and just doubled it up. And the reason for that is it just gave it it made it a little bit more sturdy, and that's why I would suggest you do the same with your coffee dyed paper. It just makes it a little bit more sturdy, and therefore when you come to try and stick it in a pocket, it's not just going to bend on itself. So there we go, that's what I did. And if you want to know how big I did it, I got very technical and I said I'm just going to do it the width of this ruler. I do a lot of things by the width of this ruler, or width of some ruler. So I'll just do this one. I won't bother cutting the others because I'm just going to use 3. So this one will be a bit more flimsy than this because the glue has dried on these. And then what I did was I made sure that I'd got nice ripped ends, because you know I don't like a straight edge. There we go. That's cool. Yep, they're not straight anymore. Good. Is that got straight? Oh, see, that's got. You can see the 2 layers. So I'll just rip it down to the layer. Okay, and then what I did was made some holes. So you can put them all together, but then you've got to think then all the holes will be in the same place. Now I did do 2 together and did them and just switch them round so you couldn't tell. But you know, you do you. And all I did was I took my crocodile or hole punch or whatever you've got, and I used the smallest setting, so I used the smallest hole, and I just went about making some random holes, because it doesn't have to look historically accurate, because you're not recreating a drama. So it might be a drama to make, but you're not recreating a drama. So that's all I did was just go through it, just make some random holes, leave some spaces, because then it looks like there's a new message, etc. This is how my brain ends up being. It's like, don't overthink it, Dave, and then you end up with like, oh, that new message. Need to say this. I don't know what that says, but like, say it anyway. Don't get too random, but equally don't get too uniform. Oh, you see, overthinking. It's what bane of my life. So there you go. There's one lot. And then I'll just put these 2 together and I'll show you what I did on the other one. So again, I just started at the, even if they're shorter than each other, I started at the very end, and then I made sure that they were always held together, and then I just made holes like I'd done before. Like I say, it doesn't have to be historically accurate, so don't worry too much about it. The other way you can make it look a bit different is if you vary it and just move it down a bit further. It's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be. Like I say, a bit of a space. I might move that up a little bit. And then flip on the very end, all I did was flip it round so that I could have it going off to the end, and then all I did was took it and turned it round, and then you can't tell that they're both the same, really. Sorry, get rid of these bits. Anybody would think I'd got somebody to come and clean up after me, but I don't. It's just me. And then I just inked it to give it a bit of a time weary. Didn't want to make it too wet though with ink, so I don't mind a bit of blotchy, so if you get your finger marks on it, it's fine. It's been handled, hasn't it? So they used to read it like this. I don't know how on earth they read that, but like, well, they definitely wouldn't have been able to read mine. It's a good job that I wasn't, you know, the Morse code sender on the Titanic. Otherwise, nobody would have ever come. So, and then just a little bit. I don't worry about too much about the back, but just take the whiteness off it. I liked the till roll as it was anyway, because it was quite faded. It's an old one, old style till roll. So you know, the ones that go into the cashier's machine for when they're adding your shopping up. I didn't mind it being, sorry, it's an old one because it's one that isn't, what's it called? I was going to say, it's not one that teleports, but it's not, I didn't mean teleport. What is it? Thermal. Same difference, Dave. Teleporting and thermal. Both words completely interchangeable. No worries about that at all, Dave. Okay, so these might be a bit long, which they probably are. So I just kind of got them all kind of the right sort of length-ish, and then I just tore them down to make them fit the thing, but I didn't want them all to be the same length, obviously. Okay, just get a bit of ink on that edge, and a bit of ink on that edge. Just do the very ends. That's and like I say, I don't know what ticker tape actually looks like, but it doesn't really matter because in my head this is what it looks like. Actually, I won't put that way around, put it that way around. And then, like I say, because you've kind of just opened that up, it should be easier for you to now slot that into there, especially because you've made them a bit thicker and they should go down further. If it doesn't, just like it doesn't for me now, because you guys are watching, it's not going to do it for me. Just put something in there and just give it a wiggle. Of course, the other one I had no problems with because nobody was watching me. There you go. They go in there nicely now, and then I just kind of you know, splayed them out a bit. I didn't mind them if they were, I kind of thought if they were a bit bent over, it didn't matter. And the same goes for there, if they're kind of just in that fold. When you fold it over, I don't mind it being bent. It looks like it's been over time. And then you know, you can decorate it however you like. So literally all I did was put a bit of book page on the outside of that. I might use, I don't know, maybe a bit of that. I might use a bit of that on there, but I'm going to rip that edge down so it's not straight. So this is some of my washi tape that I used in my previous video, the stuff that I made myself. Just going to rip that off there. Take this off its backing, in theory. Take it off its backing. Please come off your backing. Please be good. Don't curl up onto yourself, please. I'm just going to put that on there. And then just wrap it round there. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about making it really beautiful, because you do you. But I'll just show you what I did with the paperclip. So the paperclip is just the same way as I've done previous things. Find a paperclip, or any other paperclip though. I've not tried doing it on a copper one. Let's give the copper one a go. So all I did was I took a piece of card just to put it against while I do this, and I took my paintbrush somewhere. I had a paintbrush. If I had a paintbrush, I paint in the morning. I had a paintbrush, Dave. Where the heck have you put a paintbrush? Oh, you know where the paintbrush is? It's on the floor. When in doubt and you're looking for something, look on the floor. That is usually where it's gone. So we'll just take those out to the field of view. Tidy up as we go, Dave. Keep that, because I'll use that for something else. So all I did was I alcohol inked it a bit. So I just popped a little bit in, a drop in the lid, and then go over it a bit. And you can be as blotchy and as pick up the darker bits as you like, because they don't rust perfectly. And then I flipped it over, did the back. Promised myself I wouldn't do this without any gloves on previously, but you know, I'm good at keeping promises with other people, just not with myself, clearly. So there we go. And then obviously you need to leave that to dry or give it a blast. Give it a blast. It's been a blast, folks. Give it a blast with your heat gun. So I might come back in a minute and you'd be So I did come back in a minute, so remember this might be hot now. And then all I did was I just closed it up and just popped a paperclip on it. There we go. Another little utilitarian thing that's just a point of interest, and you know, and then they can use that space for journaling or whatever. You could put, you know, bits of book page in there for people to journal on. You do it, you make it how you like, but that's basically the basic principle, basically. And there you go, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it's another thing you might give a try of. And if you do, don't forget, you know, let me know. Put something in the comments. Let me know you've done it. If you're on Instagram, you know, just hashtag me or you know, at me or whatever, and I can see it that way. And in the meantime, thanks to everybody that has recently subscribed. And a big thank you as well to Nick the Booksmith, who pulled out my comment, and you know, since then I've had a few extra subscribers, so I'm really very grateful to you, Nick. You've been a source of inspiration for me, and you know, I really love what you do, but you know, and I'm glad that, you know, that you found my comment funny. So so anyway, thanks very much, folks. You all take care. Remember, I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you all in the next video. You all take care, folks. Lots of love, lots of hugs, and I'll see you soon. Take care, folks. Bye.